Hey there, good morning and welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here. Hope you guys are doing fine this morning. S&P 500 futures are right now at 6,957. Let's just go to the futures section and look at what the readings are. S&P 500 futures are up 3.75 points. That's around 0.05% at 6,963.5. That is a very moderate gain pre-market. NASDAQ futures are down minus 2.75 points. That is around 0.01%. So basically, both the futures are flat. Dollar index is moderately up by 0.02%. And VIX has finally dropped below 0.18 in quite a while. So that's the one positive news we have. Gold is up 0.37%. It's steadily nudging up as we approach the US-Iran talks. It's more of a safe haven play, I think. So that's the setup this morning as we get started. There are a few other points I wanted to discuss with you. Yesterday, NVDA reported fiscal Q4 2026 EPS of $1.62, adjusted up 82% year over year on revenue of $68.13 billion. Up 73%, beating on every metric. More significantly, Q1 fiscal 2027 revenue guidance of $78 billion crushed the analyst consensus of $0.72 billion, $72 billion. So that was what we had after hours. Immediately, the share spiked and then it subsided a little bit. Let's go and have a look at NVDA and see where it is right now. So pre-market, it's back up again, 0.94. Now, what I have done is, as I was preparing for today's session, I looked at the chart of NVIDIA, and what I find here is that you have a shoulder and another shoulder and a head. And if we were to extrapolate the price target, it comes to around 217.28. Let us say 217, very conservative guidance. Now, there are analysts who are pegging a price target of around 240. Now, what is happening with my 218, interestingly, is that I have this diagonal line of resistance, which we had for quite a while. Now, if I was to pull out this diagonal line of resistance as it is, and take it up. Now, that is coming very close to our target out here. So I'm thinking that we should reasonably expect NVIDIA to go up to 217.07 because after all, they gave a really good outlook and that should give the market a little bit of a pause. However, what has also happened is in the meantime, Salesforce came up with their earning. Salesforce was down roughly 4% in pre-market after the software company's fiscal 2027 revenue forecast came in below Wall Street expectations. Let me add Salesforce out here just so that we can see what is happening out there. So I'll put CRM in here and I'll add this to our list out here just for today to see what is happening. So we have CRM picking up this morning around 3.4%. So all the things that Jensen Huang said about software being affected by AI, all of those are helping Salesforce, in my opinion. That's why we are seeing a little bit of a bounce up after the initial drop. Earnings were pretty good as well. As you can see, EPS was up 24.94% and revenue was just slightly above expectations. So it was all pretty good. Then we had a Trade Desk, which plunged around 16% in pre-market despite a Q4 EPS beat after forecasting first quarter revenue of $678 million, well below analyst expectations. So we have that kind of a scenario out here. I would be interested to see what happens when the market opens. Are we going to continue with AI threatening software, or are we going to put that behind us? And is the euphoria from NVIDIA going to take us up to new heights? That's the question that the market will answer. And the biggest macro wildcard today is the US-Iran nuclear talks in Geneva, the third round of negotiation, which begin this Thursday morning. And financial markets have adopted a cautious stance heading into the session, with Brent crude trading above $70 per barrel. Bank of Japan and energy stocks are under pressure. Bitcoin is stabilizing around 68,000. Let me just quickly take you to Bitcoin. You can see that we have a stabilization zone out here, and I'm going to cancel out this pennant that we had before, because that is not being respected either on the downside or on the upside. Instead, what we seem to be having is some kind of a flag pattern. This is on the top side, and I think this is on the bottom side. And since we have already come all the way down to this flagpole, it's no longer a bull flag. The bear flag, in my opinion, is still active. However, traditional bear flags tend to slope upwards and then break out downwards. But in this case, the upward slope has not happened. So I'm going to treat this as a bear flag, and I'm going to be bearish on Bitcoin. But Bitcoin is stabilizing around 68,000 following a 6.2% relief rally on Wednesday. It's strongest single day gains in weeks. Though market participants are closely watching the Iran-US headlines, as a failure to achieve a breakthrough there could keep geopolitical risk elevated and weigh on risk assets, including to a good extent crypto. Gold is looking pretty decent, and I'm just going to momentarily go into the gold chart. Gold is continuing to move upwards. If this was a bear flag, I think we have almost extinguished the bearishness, and we are getting into bull channel at this point of time, and I would regard this leg out here as a bull flagpole, and this is a bullish pennant with the probability of breaking out on the upside being more than the probability of breaking down. And then if it breaks down, we have this bull channel which is going to give it a chance to bounce back up again. So overall, I'm bullish on gold in the short term and in the long term. So that's the way I'm looking at gold. The economic data calendar today includes the weekly initial jobless claims at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, and the Kansas City's Fed Manufacturing Activity Index for February. And in terms of earnings, today we'll have Dell Technologies, CoreWeave, and Warner Brothers Discovery all reporting after the bell. And the S&P 500 has been trapped between 6,800 and 7,000 for weeks. And we have to see today whether we're going to make a clean break out of it thanks to NVIDIA, or are we going to continue muddling around in that range and potentially dropping down in the influence of the head and shoulder pattern. So that's what is in store for us. Now, with that said, let's jump into our regular technical analysis and see what we can glean out of the charts. So right now, I would say that S&P 500 looks bearish in terms of market sentiment, but MACD has become bullish. Momentum is above average, and we are still, I think, under the spell of the head and shoulder. But we have a decent gain on 25th of February. So we'll have to see what happens today after NVIDIA earnings. And let us look at NASDAQ. I wouldn't draw any conclusions here right now. We have the head and shoulder pattern still in play. But because of the jump that we had on the 25th, that is yesterday, we got to see what happens today in the market. We have support from the 50-day exponential for NASDAQ, and that support is at 25,318.84. And for S&P 500, we got a support at 6,935.50, which is this green line out here. This is going to be the support, and our resistance is going to be 6,984.75. Right now we are at 6962, up 0.03% in pre-market session. Now let us go directly to AI. NVIDIA, I've already spoken to you about NVIDIA and put a new target out there. Am I going to buy NVIDIA? Yes, for sure. I'm going to mark this resistance out here from yesterday as a support because we are already on top of it. And the first objective will be to close above today's candle tomorrow, so that we can confirm this line of support as a confirmed line of support. And then we are going to be aiming to meet a target of 217.35. Google is down 0.53%. I think the positive news from NVDA should definitely help Google to move up. But we could also look at a dynamic where investors in companies like Google, Microsoft, Oracle, Meta, all of them start thinking that there is too much of allocation on AI, and therefore the risk factor is pretty high, and there could be a problem down the line. And given the fact that NVIDIA is saying Blackwell has got so much of orders and there will be a backlog, that means that all of these companies are going to put more and more money into AI infrastructure. If that is the case, then the question becomes, are they capable of delivering the kind of earnings to retain their current valuation? If that kind of a thought comes into the market, then I think we are in for trouble. So we don't know at this point of time what's going to happen. So I would say markets are in a flux. I wouldn't go all in on Google at this point of time. Meta is down 0.52%. Again, it's consolidating here. It's a bear flag. We'll see what happens. For today, we have a resistance at 651.45. We are at 650.38 in pre-market, down 0.51%. And our 100-day exponential, 200-day exponential, and 50-day exponential, all of them are above the current price. So that's again a bearish factor. And we'll get support at 636.82. Market sentiment bearish, MACD bearish, momentum below average. So I wouldn't be venturing into Meta anytime soon. Microsoft is down 0.10%. It's still got support at 399.10. Which was a resistance yesterday, which we overcame. Pre-market, we are down 0.09%. We are at 400.27, just above this. So this is our first line of support. And we have a bearish target of 338. We'll see what happens there. Amazon is down 0.15%. Amazon has been consolidating. We even suspected that it could do a cup and handle pattern. We have a bear flag target of around 170.37. We are curious what's going to happen out here. So I'm going to wait for a few more candles because it's not a slam dunk that we are going to go down to meet the bear flag target. So we'll wait and see how it develops. Market sentiment is bearish. MACD is neutral. Momentum is below average. AMD is down 1.43% in pre-market rates. 100-day exponential at 211.64 is going to be the resistance, and support is going to be at 203.52, which is this green line out here. And there's other support also in the bottom. So that's where we are with AMD. Market sentiment is bearish. MACD is also bearish, moving towards neutral. Momentum is just below average. Apple is up 0.04%. Bullish market sentiment improving. MACD is also bullish and improving. There is plenty of room for it to go up further. So I think Apple is one of the bullish charts that I'm seeing out here. We have a reverse head and shoulder target of 283.14, which we had plotted much earlier before we came down. So I would be curious to see if we can have any bullish chart patterns to accompany with all of the other bullishness that we see in the charts, so that we can say we're going to move upwards. We have this diagonal line. I'm going to extend it. And this is going to be a resistance for today. And this line potentially gives us resistance in the region of around $277 today. Then we have Broadcom, which is down 0.30% in pre-market trades. We had a head and shoulder pattern which we had charted out, but then we came back down and we went up. But suffice to say, today the only thing I can say is the 100-day and the 50-day exponential are providing strong resistance, ranging from 335.94 to 337.76. That is the resistance, and support is likely to be somewhere closer to 325.53. Pre-market, we are down 0.31% at 331.29. Then we have Tesla, which is down 0.60%. We are looking at a target of 366.85 based on the head and shoulder pattern and based on the neckline that has been breached. So we are moving towards that, but very slowly. We have this diagonal line of resistance which got converted into a support thanks to the move yesterday. Are we going to stay above that? Are we going to confirm it as a support? That is a question for today. And it's going to provide support today at 412.01. ARM Holdings, I think, is another bullish chart that we are looking at out here, and this is the bull flag and it's moving upwards. It has got resistance from the 200-day exponential at 132.34. And as we speak, pre-market, it's up 0.54%, staying slightly above at 132.30. So this morning, we are looking at this 200-day exponential being broken. And then we will have support at 129.89, which was a resistance earlier, which is converted into a support this morning. For us, the first task will be to confirm this line of support at 129.98. by closing above the candle of 25th. And then we'll have to see if that helps us to break above the 200-day exponential, and then we'll have to confirm by closing above that candle. So there's plenty of work left there, but suffice to say, this is looking bullish to me at this point of time. And then we have SMCI. Hi, thanks for joining. SMCI is down 1.91%. And the 50-day exponential at 32.41 is going to provide support. And the 100-day exponential at 35.35 is going to provide the resistance. Palantir is down 0.36%. A lot of consolidation happening out here. This looks like a bearish pennant to me. So I'm still bearish about Palantir. We got market sentiment which is bearish, but MACD has become bullish. Momentum is still very mediocre. Tempus AI is down 0.52%, firmly below this diagonal line of support, converting that into a resistance. And the resistance is going to be offered at 55.06. The task for the day would be to confirm that this resistance. If not confirmed, we'll have the opportunity to break out above it, because it's an unconfirmed resistance at this point of time. Then we have SoFi, which is up 0.05%, just barely managing to go above the resistance of 19.26, which was set yesterday. So let us see what happens this morning. I'm going to leave it as it is. Oracle could turn out to be a turnaround story. And as NVDA starts bringing back optimism into AI and data structures, if the market buys the fact that all these companies can actually show rewards, and the fact that OpenAI is going into other new areas and trying to create more business out there, all of that would give a boost to Oracle. So I'm cautiously optimistic about Oracle. SMH is up 0.20% in pre-market trades. This diagonal line of support is going to provide a lot of support this morning at 417.04. And if we were looking for some kind of a line of resistance, and for that I would like to draw a line of resistance out here, and I would say that for today we have a resistance at around 433.41. And then we have MP, which is up 1.06%. It has got very strong resistance from the 50-day and the 100-day exponential, which are converging in the region of $60.16 to $60.38. That's going to be the resistance out there. But we have broken out of this pennant out here. And because we were on a upward movement when we came down, I would say that the probability of staying above that is high, provided we confirm that this diagonal line of resistance, which has now become a line of support, is a confirmed support. So we need to watch out more candles for MP. It's very ambiguous right now. I want to talk about a few stocks that I have identified, which I want to share with you, which have some potential. I would like to go into another watch list of mine where I keep track of a few other stocks. And one of them out here is going to be ExxonMobil. I can see a bullish pennant in ExxonMobil, and it is converging very, very sharply. So when such a convergence happens, we are looking for the breakout. So breakout should happen anytime now. And we have that Iran issue also in the spotlight. So if there is a blockade of oil, or if there is something that happens in that area, oil could spike up and we could have a big spike out here. And you know how we do the targets, right? This is the flagpole and this is the pennant. And if we break out here today, that would be huge. But pre-market, we are down 0.85%. So I'm going to make this pennant a little more fine-tuned and take it all the way down here. And I would say that this is a support line. So for today, we have a support at around 147.26. And if we fall below that, we'll have a problem. Right now, we are at 147.80. Am I going to buy this stock? Yes, I'm focused on this. And today I will make a decision to buy the stock if we break out of this bullish pennant, and if that happens, I'll buy a small quantity. And when we confirm on that, I'll buy a little more. So if I'm going to allocate, say, 100 units for buying XOM, maybe I'll put in around 50 units there, just to make sure that I can dollar cost average into it and limit my exposure. The other stock I want to talk to you about is Caterpillar. In Caterpillar, we have a bull flag formation. So this was the bull flag, and we have broken out, in my opinion, we have broken out of the bull flag. So what are we looking for today? Well, today we are looking to confirm this diagonal line of support as a support for going forward. Yesterday we fell a little below the previous day's close, so I'm not really sure whether we closed above the previous close. So this is an unconfirmed line of support. I want to see this line of support being confirmed. If that happens, then we have a pretty decent target for, I'm going to mark a very conservative bullish target, and I would say that XOM could go all the way to 883.88 or 883 to 884. That could be the target out there. Another company I want to talk about is Snowflake. Now, in case of Snowflake, I'm looking at a double bottom out here. Now, this is very premature. This double bottom will have to go all the way up here, and then it will trigger the neckline. So this is very early stages. So Snowflake is something that I'm watching. And then we have Micron MU. Let us see where MU is out here. Yeah. So we had a bullish pennant. We have broken out of it. We have confirmed this diagonal line as a support. And therefore, I'm thinking that we are moving towards a target of 532.17. Pre-market, we are at 431, up 0.47%. I would definitely like to buy this on the Canadian side, on the CDRs. And I think if I was to take the flagpole from, let me just do this calculation. Let us say, if this was a flagpole, then I would say that we are looking at a minimum target of 564.40. So that's what I think we should be expecting. So with that said, the other thing I want to talk about is an old stock, that is Netflix. Netflix has a double bottom, and it has already crossed the neckline, and it has already met the target today in pre-market. It's at around 83.34, up 0.77%. So we'll have to watch this space for future patterns. There's a lot of things going on with regard to Paramount takeover. The Paramount takeover news had pushed Netflix down. James Cameron, who produced the Avatar series, is against Netflix getting Paramount. He thinks that it's going to be disastrous for the movie business, and it will change the movie business forever, and not in a good way. Has written a letter to that effect, and Trump wants Paramount to take over Disney. So all those things are Netflix takeover of Disney and Paramount takeover of Disney. It's very fraught in politics. The chances of Netflix getting Disney is starting to look a little bit weak because Trump has wanted Susan Rice to be taken out of the employment with Netflix. I think she's legal counsel out there or something to that effect. So that again is something that Trump is not supposed to do. He has got no reason to talk to a private company to remove one of its executives. So there is a lot of things going on out there. So we don't know which way it's going to break out. But suffice to say, if this deal doesn't go through for Netflix will bounce up like anything. So that's what we are looking at. Market sentiment has become bullish. MACD has become bullish. Momentum has become above average. I have some Netflix on my Canadian side. I would like to dollar cost average because it's in the negative right now. So could this be a trend reversal? That is a question that we are looking at. Okay. So in the meantime, what could happen is it could come down and bounce off this support that we have out here, which could then create a head and shoulder pattern, which can then give us a new target. The reverse head and shoulder pattern can give us new targets. So that's what I'm thinking about Netflix. Now let's go on and have a look at currencies and see what's happening with Bitcoin. The Bitcoin is up 0.03%. I have cancelled the pennant. Earlier in the session, I had mentioned that if I'm doing this again because he just joins some time back. So I'm thinking that this is a bear flag because if this green line was a bull flag pole, then we already come down here all the way to 62,671. So it's no longer a bull flag. So it's a confirmed bear flag. Typically, bear flags slope upwards and then break down. That's not the case here. So I'm overall bearish and I'm still looking at first target of 55,813 and second target of 49,488. I've shorted MSTR. So that's my disclosure. Now let's go into genomics, which we did not do. Pfizer is down 0.07%. I still am looking at the cup and handle target. We'll see what happens going forward. Prime is flat in pre-market trades. It has gone above this diagonal line of resistance, converting this into a support. So the business today is going to be to have a candle that closes above 4.14 so that we can confirm this. Indelia is up 4.32% in pre-market trades. It's looking pretty decent. Market sentiment bullish, MACD bullish, momentum above average. Earnings came out pretty good. So Intel is riding that wave. This is on the backs of other earnings that we saw, which was good for genomics. And Caribou is flat in pre-market trades, but it has made a series of positive moves. So that's a good positive to see out here. And this morning, we are flat in pre-market trades. Yesterday, we dropped 8.88%. Which I would attribute to some amount of profit taking. So I'll watch what happens this morning. I don't have any predictions out here. Beam Therapeutics is up 0.47% after dropping 8.30%. I would say that it was profit taking after the jump with good news. Wedbush has maintained outperform ratings for Beam Therapeutics with a per share target of $65. So there is a lot of positiveness out there in the analyst outlook. Altimmune is down 0.44%. It's not looking that great right now. And we have Editas, which is flat in pre-market trading. And yesterday was almost a doji candle with a red candle out there. This morning we are flat. Yesterday we gained 0.95%. We will get support from 2.08 today, which is the 50-day exponential, and we'll get resistance from 2.29, which is the 100-day exponential. And then we have Illumina, which is down 0.09%, still being pushed down by the 100-day exponential and getting support from the 200-day exponential. Resistance is at 124.77, and support is at 117.62. Then we look at CRISPR Therapeutics, which is up 0.58%, and it's got resistance from 56.41, and pre-market we are at around 55.52, up 0.58%, but yesterday we dropped down below that support, converting it into a resistance, and our support is going to be the 100-day exponential at 54.85, which is this lavender line that we see out here. Allogene is up 0.40% in pre-market trade. Friends, you can see that this is a bull flag. That's why I selected Allogene today to talk about. So this is a bull flag, and we have a breakout out here, and the breakout is going to take us to 3.00. I believe we are traveling in that direction. And then we look at grain, which is down 1.39%, unable to break the resistance of 51.51. This morning, we are down 1.39% at 51.07. So the gains that we made yesterday has been dropped, but I'm still optimistic that today, when the market opens, if we somehow manage to confirm this line of resistance as a support, because yesterday we closed above it, that would be a good outcome for today. In any case, the ultimate support is at 44.98. PSEB is down 0.61%. We still have resistance at 1.72, and we look at ARCG. ARCG is up 1.54%, but it's going to get resistance at 29.92, which is the yellow line of resistance, and 29.42 is going to do the role of support, which is this lavender line that we see out here. Vertex is down 0.01% in pre-market trades. The diagonal line of resistance will continue to provide resistance today at 496.17. Ginkgo Bioworks is up 0.96%. It has managed to break through a very strong resistance at 9.35, which is the confluence of the 50-day exponential and the horizontal line of resistance. Now that is going to become a very strong support today for Ginkgo Bioworks, and I'm hoping that we use that to form a very strong base and then bounce off from here. For today, the resistance is at 9.76, which is the 100-day exponential. Then we have Eli Lilly, which is up 0.36%, bouncing back into the pennant, and it's going to get support today at 1030.08, and also from 1030.89, which is the 100-day exponential. Both of these are going to give it a very strong support. Pre-market, we are at 1032.50. Let us see how it goes. The probability for us breaking on the upside of this pennant is more than breaking down. At the same time, we have to be cognizant of the fact that the support line of this pennant, the bottom, has been tested multiple times. When that happens, the probability of breakdown becomes much higher. So I'm ambiguous about Lilly. I'm seeing market sentiment is bearish. However, MACD is bullish and momentum is average. So I don't know for sure what Eli Lilly is going to do. We look at Precision, which is up 1.82% in pre-market trades, but still, just like yesterday, we have support at 3.64. We have resistance at 4.07, which is the 100-day exponential moving average. Ultragenics is down 0.70%. This diagonal line of resistance is continuing to play the role of a resistance. It's going to provide resistance at 24.15. We have a bull flag out here. The bull flag needs to break out on the upside, so we'll watch more candles to decide what is going to happen. MACD and market sentiment both are bullish and positive. It's the momentum that needs to improve, so we need to check that out in the future. I'm just going to have a quick look at Rocket, not doing very well. It's up 0.63% this morning, but overall the chart is very weak. And then I'm looking at United Health. This United Health, we were very clear before that we are on a bear flag and we should reach a target of 221.55. But it's doing something funky out here. Could it be forming a head and shoulder pattern, reverse head and shoulder pattern? That's what we are watching. So let us see a few more candles fall, then make a decision. Team has done a trend reversal. This morning it's up 1.11% at 74. So I'm thinking that the first order of business is to do gap fill. So resistance at 76.08 is in order. With that said, my friends, I'd like to finish today's session, and I'll catch up with you again in the next one. Bye for now.